It can be a little known fact that the occipital ridge here has a massive connection to any tension in the hips. Sometimes you can work on people's hips, people with quite major sciatica, and the nerves that run from the lower back down the legs can get quite blocked in the lower back and through the glutes into the hamstrings. Can be quite difficult because you can work too much in those areas and you need to take it away from that area and release from a referred point, and that referred point is this occipital ridge. So I'm just going to do some work on the block here. Now, my favourite thing to do, which is to lie down and bringing my head to the middle of the block. So you can use a big book here or something that's of a tough consistency, but if you've got like a box file or something like that, something that's raised but of quite tough, so you're not sinking into it. And then turning my head onto here so that you will get into the edge of the brick or block, will get into where the muscles meet the skull. So you can work along that ridge, moving your head slightly towards the centre and try to relax there. Now you'll find that one side can be worse than the other. You might go to the other side and it's excruciating, or you might need to create more of an angle here. So I can really feel that now in that left occipital ridge as I work towards the ear with a sharper sort of surface. So that might be more useful for people. So sometimes you can actually feel the hips relax from here. That's certainly the feedback that I've got if I'm working on this ridge. If people lay face up or when they lay face down, suddenly they feel that relaxation in the lower back and hip area. Because sciatica can be really debilitating. If anyone's ever had it, it's really it stops you in your tracks a bit, any kind of lower back pain or putting your back out, which is another term people will use. And things like sitting in a car or sitting with your hips tucked under can be really difficult. So what I would say is you need to try and reverse that process so the pelvis is tipping forward, and you do that by creating some height. So in a car you might sit on cushions to create that height in the pelvis, rocking further forward. If you're sitting on the floor, you would do that with height of blocks or cushions or bricks, anything you've got to create that so that you're not dipping in the spine and tucking it under, which is what a lot of car seats do. That kind of bucket seat will enforce that tipping of the pelvis. So we need to try to get it created to go the other way, which is why things like lumbar rolls exist, and people will put like something behind their back. I've put a pair of jeans there before on a car journey where my back is absolutely killing from the comfort of a seat. But unfortunately, sometimes things aren't comfortable that are designed to be. So hopefully that helps and gives people a bit of information. What I would try and avoid if you have any soreness in your lower back is splitting the legs at all. So doing anything like lunges, even when you get out of a car, it's quite difficult to, I call it the ladylike swivel, when you put your knees together and swivel out of a car. But it's there for a reason, because if you split your legs too much, if you've parked next to the car too closely, or the car next to you is parked badly, shall we say, you then split the pelvis, so it's turning the wrong way, and that can actually lock the pelvis into quite an awkward position. So hopefully that helps and you can get some relative relief from that.